Hey y'all, how you doing? My name is Lauren B. I am the Untitled Tarot. Thank you for joining me for this Aries new moon. So this is a pretty big lunation. It's the first new moon of the astrological new year. So that's really exciting. And it's the first time we've had fire in the sky since Sagittarius season, and so I think all of you are feeling the boost of energy. Hopefully it is manifesting in a positive way. All of this fire energy, it can easily manifest as like anger and frustration and all of these things. I just wanted to come on and like talk to you guys a little bit, like give you some channel messages or pull some cards. I did do a sound bath for you, so you're gonna be able to find that at the end of this video. I will attempt to timestamp it for you. I want to tell a short story, a little story time with LB. A few days ago, and I can already feel this new moon energy creeping in, and it's after the spring equinox and, you know, Aries season hit. And I was sleeping, as one does, and I had like a really not okay dream, really just not okay dream. And I woke up and I was really kind of angry. It didn't feel like a dirty anger. It felt like a clean anger, even though that dream was terribly unpleasant. What had happened was that something like got ripped off of me in the middle of the night. And what had gotten ripped off of me were these rose-colored glasses. And I had realized that over a long course of time that it was very difficult for me to release things because I was seeing it through rose-colored glasses. I was trying to sit in my softness and I was trying to forgive and like very gently surrender. But in the process of doing that, I had also denied myself the ability to see how certain situations were. Black and white, like exactly how they were. See things for how they are. And because of that, had I really looked at certain things and realized just how messed up they were, I would have immediately, like when I woke up, I just felt disgusted. It was like a whole slew of situations that all of a sudden I could just see very clear. I remember feeling very awake. And it wasn't, I'm awakened, I'm spiritual, I'm a multidimensional being, which I am. But I felt just very conscious and very awake of holy shit, like, no, I see that for exactly how that went down. That was 50 Shades and not okay. And because I was kind of disgusted and because my anger was like righteous, again, it was clean, it was justified anger. It wasn't coming from the shadow. It wasn't coming from the ego. It was so easy for me to let those things go. Things that even though I had surrendered it and I had forgiven, I still was holding on to a piece of it, and that piece got yanked out of me while I was sleeping through the course of this very unfortunate dream. And so when we're really looking at this Aries new moon, it's about being able to kind of not just catch fire, but hold fire, right? To be able to allow that new life force, like all of that new energy to bring clarity. What does light do? It shows us things that we couldn't see before. And when we can see them very clearly, it makes it much easier to decide what you want to let go of and what you want to hold on to still. And I realized that so many of the doubts that I was having about certain things in other areas of my life, I didn't have them anymore. And I had realized that certain areas where I should have been like much more confident in what I was doing, I wasn't, because that energy of gaslighting myself and scapegoating myself, it had trickled over. And I say it a bunch of times, but if there is an energy present, sooner or later, if it's not addressed, it will start filtering into the other areas of your life. But at least for me, I noticed that that fine line was being able to ground that fire. When I was sitting in meditation, I saw an image of someone doing like a fire dance, right? But then I also saw an image of someone sitting on the ground, really kind of softly, very humbly, right? And they were holding soil in their hands. And so there is this idea of being able to look at your circumstances, to ground fire, ground this new life force energy, ground this new awareness, right? Of kind of how amazing you are. The fact that you could even still love or forgive or still want to keep going even after all the things that you've been through, like you are a miracle. And in many ways, like you are like that soil. kind of returning to this blank slate in a new astrological new year with a new moon, reconnected to your life force energy, your unique energy signature, who you are, to just see that like pure essence and know what it is capable of. You look at soil and you go, what? It's a mound of dirt. But if you have eyes to see, you know what that soil can do. Like, you know what that soil can become. You know what can be created, what can foster, what can grow within it. And that's who you are now. In so many ways, this new moon is reminding you, like, who the fuck you is? Like, are you kidding me? So many ways in which you have slept on yourself. I was sitting here and I was doing the shufflemancy, and one of the songs that had come out for you was for all of us, for the family, for this new moon. It was My Head is a Jungle by Emma Louise. The TikTok girlies know that song. And that song is very kind of trancey, and it really is just kind of all consuming. And I think in many ways that's sort of this energy. And part of it is Pisces season. Just blame it on the Pisces. I'm a Pisces, we're used to it. But part of it is sort of that like really dreamy energy, just kind of all consuming you, and a lot of scatteredness in the brain, not really feeling super grounded, just like a lot happening, not really being able to organize it. And part of what this fire is doing, it's not only kind of burning up any like false stories that you had in your head, for better or for worse, but it's also kind of pure, again, it's clean fire, it's clean anger, it's purifying you from within. So that way you can look down with a real practical, a very grounded and humble perspective, and look at who you are and actually remember what it is that you're capable of, what you can actually do, what you can create. I channeled, and I've been channeling this, is that one of the issues going on within the collective, but particularly within groups of people and individuals that are very spiritual and very tapped in, is that we are not using magician energy properly. Remember, the magician is card number 1 in the major arcana. It is the I am, right? In many ways, he's the exact opposite of the Hierophant. The magician makes his own rules. The magician doesn't ask for permission to be seen or be in the spotlight. He puts himself there. But when we look at the magician, we always focus on the wand that's in the air, and we always forget about the other hand, right? And part of what the magician does is he acts as a lightning rod. He uses that wand, like Benjamin Franklin, channeling lightning, channeling potent spiritual energy, but he runs it through himself like a vessel, so that way it can manifest into the physical world. This is creation energy. And a big blockage or problem amongst spiritualists, and particularly spiritual creators as well, is that we've been getting the input of all of this spiritual energy, but because we haven't had fire in the sky, because we've been healing, because we've been sort of numb and blinded to some of the things that have happened to us in the past, right? Just kind of blurring that vision, the wrong contact lenses, that we haven't been able to use the output. We haven't been able to come forward as our purest expression of self, come hell or high water, if people like it or not. I saw a peacock in my meditation as well. There's no peacocking, like there's no like self-esteem, like there's no I believe in myself. It's always the opposite, and this Aries new moon is trying to come forward and really pop the top off of the output. So that way, as you are channeling this really intense spiritual energy, it can flow out of you in the form of creation, in the form of growth, in the form of you vocalizing, just like the magician, you making yourself seen, you making yourself heard, you getting out there and you doing your thing, as opposed to just like a Pisces does, imagine it, wish it, right? Part of this is the law of action. We talk about the law of attraction all the time, but there's also the law of action, which Aries is bringing in really strongly, which says that when you have a vision for yourself and you are pouring spiritual, emotional, mental energy into it, it has to be followed by sacred, grounded action that aligns with that vision, that aligns with what you're pouring into. Otherwise, nothing can manifest. Again, you're stopping the lightning halfway through. It can't hit the ground. You want lightning to strike in your life, you got to be in the ground. You got to hold that soil, and you have to start producing and creating and doing the things that you have really been wanting to do, but you haven't had the energy to do them. This Aries new moon is giving you the energy to do that. And it's an important lesson for us all, that as spiritual beings, right, if we stop up the output, if we stop the creative flow and we just hold on to it, what does that lightning do? It's going to frizzle us from the inside out, and your head will become a jungle. You will feel very unclear. And so again, part of what this new moon is doing, it is taking the band-aids off. It is taking the blinders off. The rose-colored glasses, we don't know her. I haven't seen them in a while. We don't need them anymore. And you may feel some frustration and you may feel some anger, but allow it to be clean. Allow it to be clean anger. And then once you're done with that, take that fire and dance with it. Allow it to run through you and allow it to be a source of fuel and motivation for what it is that you're trying to create next. I even saw, I think I said it, I saw a peacock, and peacock for me speaks a lot about attraction. Peacocks talk about personal expression, yes. Peacocks talk about consciousness, yes. But for me, they always come forward as this energy of attraction. So many of you guys, you've been hustling and you've been grinding, you've been pushing against that tide. And sometimes you got to do that. But part of believing in yourself is the belief that when you show up as who you are, not who they want you to be, not who you think you're supposed to be, but who you actually are, you're sitting in your organic energy signature. Your energy signature, it's like your fingerprint. It's like your social security number. It cannot be replicated or duplicated. And when you show up like that, you become magnetic. When you go, I am pure Aries energy, not Aquarius, the we are. No, I am. Those things, they just come to you because they want to be close to you. Have you ever noticed you feel very drawn to people that are very confident in themselves, that believe in themselves, and instantly they become more attractive. Their energy is really inviting. You just kind of want to be near them. You can do that. You can do that for yourself right now in this Aries season. And so I don't think I'm going to pull cards. I don't think we need them. I think this happened during the Virgo full moon. I was like, I don't even think I need these cards. I'm not going to use them. But yeah, I don't want to stay on for too long. You also had that song, You Send Me by Sam Cooke, which I think is really great because when that song had come on, I got the visual of an arrow. And so for those of you that have been feeling a lot of resistance and you feel as though you've been kind of pulled back, just know it's so that way this fire energy can come in and it can clear your vision. It can spark that light back up inside of you. It can remind you who you are, why you're out here, why you're doing this to begin with. It's the remembrance of your why. And when you remember your why, you're able to pull in your how. Your steps, your strategy, the things that you're supposed to do, what to create, all of that. And Aries season, again, all of that light is showing you exactly sort of where that bullseye is. And so don't be surprised if very quickly as we move through and past this transit, if you feel a little bit like an arrow, kind of just slicing through air and hitting your mark, sticking your landing. And part of sticking that landing, which is such a big message that has been coming in for days, stick the landing. And I'm thinking, what do I have to do? Do I gotta flip it? Do I gotta reverse it? How do I stick this landing? And again, so much of it has to do with just believing in yourself, remembering who you are, looking at that soil, looking at yourself, at your life, at your hands, your mind, and knowing what you are capable of. It is belief in God. It is belief in yourself. It is belief in your ability to not just think it, but do it. Be it. It's a lesson from the cricket. I saw a cricket in the bathroom the other day. And the cricket is the to be, to do, to have. This is who I am, Aries. This is what I do. Wands, fire, action, energy. This is what I have. Gratitude, union with the divine, completion. In many ways, it is the beginning because it's a new moon. In a new astrological season, in a new physical season. But in many ways, beginnings often hide themselves in ends. And so this is a big ending. This is a big stick your landing moment. And so much of it, again, is just surrendering to the fact that God's got your back, that you have your back, that you can do this. You can do whatever it is that you want. Who's going to stop you? Not me. And so this is really what I have for you. It's not long. It's not fancy, but I hope it did the trick. I hope it did what it was supposed to. I hope I was able to motivate you and encourage you a bit on this day. I did do a sound bath for you. I hope that you enjoy it. I've been getting all new musical instruments and I'm having a lot of fun. I feel like a kindergarten music teacher. I'm having the best time ever with me and my sound bowls and my ocean drum. So I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that it serves you really well. Feel free throughout this transit to come back and rewatch the sound bath if you need it. Again, we do exclusive sound baths for the new moon and the full moon over on Patreon. We do meditations every week. We have a really good time over there. So if you are looking to do something new for the new moon to kind of set off this astrological new year and you feel guided, come check us out. We're doing a lot of good stuff and we're having so much fun. It should be illegal. But this is what I have. That's my time. I love you. Have a good new moon. Believe in yourself. You got this. Who's gonna tell you anything? No one. No one. I love you so much. I will see you next time. Have a good day. It's the law.